When the video of 200 missiles launched by Iran started circulating on TV channels and social media, everyone's suspicions began turning into the belief that the world is heading toward a major war. With this question in mind, we enter the battlefield of this video today. Watch till the end. Along with the latest developments, we will talk about the pro-American countries of the Middle East, the friendship between America and Israel, and the risks faced by the isolated Iran. We will also examine whether a war of the scale that has been predicted for the past year is truly imminent. We should remember that the current situation, with bombs and missiles constantly going off, makes the idea of any other picture of war seem like a joke. Flipping a page on the calendar changes the month, but the date remains the same. America has stated that the missiles Iran fired at Israel should be condemned by the entire world. Since America has said this, wherever you are, in the bathroom or watching a video, take a moment to condemn it while bathing or before you do so. If you're eating Golgappas, condemn it before taking a bite. Because America has spoken, and since Israel has been bombing Gaza for a year, America too condemned it. But billions of dollars and weapons were still supplied to Israel, leading to America itself being condemned. The world has condemned America, and even within America, its policies of fueling and maintaining the war are being condemned in various universities. Right now, no world leader is capable of doing anything more than issuing a condemnation. Oil prices have already begun rising. Those who were keen to pay 500,000 rupees per liter for petrol might see this as a golden opportunity. Iran has claimed that it is not interested in a full-scale war. It is urging America to stay out of this conflict. Russia, which is involved in the war against Ukraine, has surprisingly spoken of peace. Meanwhile, America is warning that Iran will have to pay a price. Israel has declared the United Nations president persona non grata and banned their entry into Israel. Israel is also calling for villages in southwest Lebanon to be evacuated. This is the same language Israel used during the Gaza conflict when it urged 2 million people to move from north to south. On the evening of October 1st, a video showing a barrage of missiles heading toward Tel Aviv spread like wildfire around the world. Iran, which had been exercising restraint for a year, finally snapped. In response, Israel is bound to retaliate. As a result, analysts worldwide now believe that a war is imminent. Some say the number of missiles was around 150, others 200. Iran claims that 90% of the missiles hit their targets. Ballistic missiles are faster than cruise missiles. It's said that they reached Tel Aviv from the Iranian border in just 12 minutes. Previously, cruise missiles or drones would give Israel enough time to intercept them. But ballistic missiles are much faster. Although Israel has an anti-missile system to intercept these threats, this time several of Iran's missiles penetrated Israel's so-called Iron Dome system. Israel has claimed that there was no loss of life in the attacks, but by launching so many missiles at Israel, Iran has issued a direct challenge. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has stated that Iran has made a huge mistake. He claimed that the attacks were foiled, and now it's time for Iran to pay the price. According to Israel, no one was killed in the Iranian attacks. The missiles targeted Israeli military bases, according to Iran's claim, and an American bomber jet squadron was destroyed, although this has not been officially confirmed by Israel. Should we interpret this as Iran's attack failing, or could it be that Iran deliberately targeted military installations to avoid civilian casualties and avoid sparking a full-scale war? In the Western media, you'll mostly find journalists speaking in favor of Israel. The capability to cover that region is also primarily in their hands. In American media, Iran is often portrayed as the villain, regardless of the political party in power. Thus, you'll always hear the Israeli side of the story and its pain. Lebanon, Iran, and other countries are portrayed as if their existence doesn't matter, as if they should be wiped out. After Israel killed Hezbollah's Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah and bombed Lebanon, Israel attempted a ground invasion through Lebanon, making it increasingly difficult for Iran to maintain restraint. Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon have killed over 700 people so far, and ground invasions are also underway. Iran is a supporter of Palestine and played a role in establishing Hezbollah. Iranian President Masoud Kia tweeted, "We have the full right to defend ourselves." After the Hamas attack, Israel made a similar statement, saying it had the right to self-defense. This one, right to self-defense, has obliterated Gaza. Entire neighborhoods were destroyed, children were killed, and millions were left injured and disabled. An epidemic of famine has spread there, and people are dying of thirst. Food prices have skyrocketed, increasing by up to 100 times, and the death toll from bombings has reached 41,500. All of this happened because Israel had the right to defend itself. Now, Iran, too, is talking about its right to self-defense. Multiple resolutions have been brought against Israel at the United Nations. The International Court has reprimanded Israel, but despite the condemnation, no one has been able to stop Israel. Netanyahu has disregarded these condemnations. In Lebanon, Israel has even attacked water supplies, and all of this is being done in the name of self-defense. Missiles were launched at residential areas in Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, again under the pretext of self-defense. If the destruction of Gaza is considered a success for Israel, it is a success that came at the cost of massive warfare. The fighting is not over yet. It continues, and it is one-sided. But now, Israel is in a state of conflict with Lebanon, and war with Iran is also a possibility. If war breaks out between the two, it will be the second front, after Ukraine and Russia, where two nations engage in direct warfare. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, whose peace efforts and policies are often viewed with suspicion, is seen as a shrewd diplomat. On the same day Iran attacked Israel, Blinken wrote a 5,000-word article published in Foreign Affairs magazine. In it, he claimed that despite continuous efforts for peace in the region, the war in Gaza has had devastating effects. Thousands of Palestinians have died in a war they did not start and cannot end. Every citizen of Gaza has been displaced, and a significant portion of the population is facing starvation. After reading Blinken's article, one might think that there is no greater advocate of peace on earth than him. At the same time, America is providing weapons and wealth to Israel for its attacks on Gaza. Since October 7, 2023, the Biden administration has transferred over 200 military supplies to Israel, with the cost of just 2 transfers exceeding $2.5 billion. 3 days ago, America provided Israel with more than 730 billion rupees worth of assistance. Between October 2023 and May 2024, America has provided Israel with over $12.5 billion, which, in Indian rupees, amounts to over 1 trillion rupees. This is larger than the economy of many countries. Meanwhile, America continues to promise more weapons. In other words, the same country supplying weapons is also writing about its efforts for peace. In India, there are many fools on social media jumping to support Israel, despite no one asking them to. They are clueless about how arms manufacturing companies in America have seen their profits soar by hundreds or even thousands of times. These fools have no concern for human lives being lost, or for the massive profits being made by arms companies. Their only goal is to stoke anti-Muslim hatred within you. In the midst of all these contradictions and ironies, the alliances, conspiracies, and greedy eyes of countries like Iran, Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Bahrain